firmly against this, but you don't seem to mind it.
Well, I mean, I don't, and I'll tell you why. Because I think one thing you said is not accurate. It's not that the IRS would collect transactions of $600 or more. It's that for bank accounts that have at least $600 in them, the bank would be required to report at the end of the tax year the total number of deposits and the total number of withdrawals, into aggregate figures, to the IRS. It's not that they would report transaction level data. That I would be against. I would have a big problem with. But my understanding of this proposal, and it is just a proposal, Congress would have to ratify this. Right. My understanding of the proposal is that it does not do that.
All right, Ethan, at the same level, how much information are we going to give to the IRS on this slippery slope?
Yeah, I think it's problematic, even if it's at that aggregate level, like Ian just mentioned, that still is problematic because as we know, over these last 10 years of social media companies, metadata matters, and the ability of the government to use that metadata, if it's at the metadata level, is deeply problematic. And I see it as a further encroachment of our Fourth Amendment rights. That has been happening steadily and being eroded over the last 20 years anyway. But overall, I mean, look, again, if we're going to get tax cheats, let's get them, but let's stay focused on who we think the cheats are. Let's not just do a wide net and vacuum up all the data on Americans in databases I'm not confident will be secured.
Thomas Honig, yeah, speaking of the not secured, you just have to look at the ProPublica leaks of all sorts of famous people's bank IRS records to know that it could happen to anybody. This is what Thomas Honig had to say over on Fox Business. Take a listen.
It's still be incredibly intrusive. And it's a massive search without a search warrant. I think it really will cause the public to have even less trust in our government institutions because, very simply, if you're intruding into everything, you want to avoid that. You become very cynical about the rule of law, and I think it undermines confidence of the American people in its institutions.
Ian, I'm seeing a skeptical look on your face.
Well, yes, because for one thing, the proposal, I don't know what our friend Ethan means when he says the government is collecting metadata. It's collecting basically two numbers: total number of deposits, total number of withdrawals. The other thing that's strange from the clip you just played is it has been settled law for like 50 years that actually it is not a Fourth Amendment search to acquire even transaction data from banks. Now, I actually think that's wrong. I think that position is wrongly decided and should be overruled. But it is just not the case that there is a significant intrusion on privacy here because, remember, you have to report your income, all of it, to the IRS already. And I don't know where you'd be putting that income other than in your bank account.
Well,
so
I guess the question is, Ethan, is this going to just lead people to start putting more money under their mattresses?
Yeah, well, I mean, it does drive some people away and back toward either a cash economy that we've seen has been slowly eroding because it's convenient. It's easy for me to use my check, my debit card, my credit card for everything, my PayPal account, whatever that might be. But there will be some people who will be see this as a major problem. And Ian and I must have read this slightly differently because I didn't see it as just a transaction count. I saw it as transaction volumes and dollar amounts that were included in that. So maybe we need to get clarification on what they were proposing. Remember, the Democrats have actually pulled back on this in Congress anyway. And we need to keep the focus here. The point is of all of this is to get the tax cheats. We have the most complicated tax code, 75,000 pages roughly, and it is ripe for very smart lawyers, very smart accountants, those with the means to pay those smart accountants and lawyers on how to maneuver around our tax laws so they're not paying what they're supposed to be paying, at least in terms of our tax rates. And Congress refuses to address that. That's the huge elephant in the room is why do we allow the wealthy to continue to evade our tax policies? instead of going after every single American, which is what this other proposal seems to be doing.
Ian, as I read it, maybe you're both right, but that at some point, if you have more than $600 in your account, or if you transact more than $600 at any time during the year, then the bank has to report to the IRS your data. They already do report interest on your account if it's more than $10 in interest over the year. But doesn't Ethan have a point here that the IRS is big enough as it is? Do they really need more information on us?
Well, this actually would help the IRS get smaller, because what this is an alternative
that's not what's happening.
audits.
But that's not what's happening.
No,
They're proposing to add to the IRS.
No, this would subtract the number of people you need at the IRS, because this is an alternative to audits, which take a lot of people. This is an ability to get those tax sheets that Ethan was talking about without having to individually audit so many people, which requires a lot of manpower. I don't have a problem with people working for the tax collectors. I mean, I don't like paying them any more than you do. But if you want to get tax sheets with as few IRS employees as possible, you want data like this rather than having to manually audit.
Interesting argument, although the current bill includes an enormous amount of money, tens of millions, if not more, to hire additional agents for IRS enforcement. So go with that.
It does, although that's separate. That's true, but that's a separate matter, and you could split those up.
Rarely is anything split in D.C., especially these days, but fair point. Ethan, Ian, good to see you both. Thank you.
Thanks, Leland.
All right. Evidently, I am told, Taylor Swift's dedication